you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Chad. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
First off, let me just give my thanks to the Rennie Center and the report itself, which I've had an opportunity to review. We believe it's good work, but more specifically to the question around collaboration and why the need to do so. And I just really would like to come clean and be very honest with you that in the summer of 2000, excuse me, in the summer of 2008, as part of my preparation for coming into Springfield, what I wanted to do was honor the past, but I did not want to be hostage to it. And out of necessity, I felt that it was necessary there were some things that we needed to continue, there were some things that we needed to jettison, but at the end of the day, I recognized that it would take a strong relationship with our labor team in order to accomplish anything that I might hope to do in Springfield. So quite candidly, my efforts in trying to collaborate with labor and with our community members as well were out of necessity. It was not you know, this esoteric thing. It wasn't something that just felt good, but it was out of dire necessity. And our labor group represents about 2,500 teachers, and I felt like if I was ever going to reach that group, that I would have to have a good relationship with its leadership and with our teachers in order to accomplish anything that I might hope to do. But as I said, the difficult balance or the delicate balance sometimes with this challenge is how do you create a sense of urgency and how do you move beyond the status quo? And I think the report speaks to the use of data, the necessity to make sure that we were transparent with our real performance and so that we could have some common understanding about what our priorities needed to be in order for us to go forward. Springfield is performing. There are evidence of success across our system within most of our major areas, with the exception of our dropout rate and our graduation rate. But I do believe that we have the process, the structures, and the routines in place for that work to improve as well, and hopefully in the very near future. But at the end of the day, there were some core values that I found, excuse me, there were some core values that I found to be very important in every endeavor of my professional life. And I brought those same core values with me to Springfield, and we have tried to make them an integral part of our strategic planning, an integral part of the work that we do every day, all rooted in relationships. But at the end of the day, those core values are teamwork, trust, transparency, and mutual respect. And as was alluded to earlier from the quote, I don't think that you can attempt to do any kind of serious reform and have it sustain itself over an extended period of time without those core values. And so they're important to me, they're important to our organization. But the other important point that I would make as part of why collaborate is that actually Tim and I have more in common than we have not in common, if I might put it that way. But we both believe in kids, we both believe in the power of people, we both believe in Springfield, and there were a lot more things that we agreed upon than we disagreed upon. And so very early on, we thought it would help the work, help my transition, and help us with the improvements that our community so desperately needed if we could focus on those common interest items. And then finally, I would just say again, this delicate balance around the need to create a sense of urgency and to move beyond the status quo, that it was very important for us to work together. Collaboration is hard work, cooperation is hard work. It's never-ending work. There's some good days and some not so good days, but I believe when you make deposits in terms of investing in the relationship and the work ahead, it's much easier to work through those tough spots when they do occur. Thank you.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Why? The children in our charge. That's the why. The how is the difficult part. There is absolutely nothing easy about this work. It is about relationship building. And Alan is absolutely correct. all the way through this process, we've had, with the previous administration and with Alan, deep, honest conversations about what's going on in the Springfield Public Schools. We try hard and succeed most of the time in disagreeing without being disagreeable. We challenge one another. But when you have those deep conversations, honest conversations about what's going on, you do find that there's more that you agree on than you disagree on. And we both believe that it is important for us and the people we work with, both in the school district and in the community, to put our energies into those things that we agree on. That's how we're going to move things forward. You don't do this work alone. You heard a number of partners that were mentioned. The MTA has been very supportive of me. Kathy Skinner's research group and professional development group has been very helpful in terms of, at some point in time, facilitating things and giving us encouragement to stick with it. There are times when you feel like you're all alone in this work, too. But 16 years ago, when I ran for president of the SEA, I told my membership that the best way for me to be an advocate for them is to be an advocate for kids and for quality education. And I believe that. Why I got involved in this, this April will be my 40th anniversary working in the Springfield Public Schools. I'm a graduate of the Springfield Public Schools. Yeah, especially 25 years of middle school and junior high. People used to ask me, what do you teach? I'd say, pubescent children. Mathematics is a vehicle. But really, what I've learned over this time, and I've seen successful schools, and the schools that were successful are schools that had a leadership and a staff relationship that was good, where teachers felt like they were listened to, not necessarily always agreed with, but when they walked out of the conversation, they felt they were heard. They felt they were supported, and they felt they were respected. And to me, those are things that in all our endeavors, whether it's out in the community, with each other, keeping those things in the forefront are extremely important. We do need to know how to disagree with one another without being disagreeable, and our energies ought to be into fixing problems, not fixing blame. And in the atmosphere that exists in this country, that's a very difficult thing to do. Because there isn't anybody in this work who belongs in this work who doesn't take it to heart. You know, we view these kids as our kids. And it's been a struggle at times. The superintendent and I have gone tooth and nail with one another at times. We try to keep that behind closed doors and privately, but I think we've developed a relationship where we can get angry at one another and then get that out of the way and move on from there. As I said when I started out, there is nothing easy about this work, but there's nothing easy about life. Whether it's raising children or being in a marriage or being in a political organization, building relationships, respectful, honest relationships is what this work is all about. And we will find that we have more in common that we believe in than we disagree on. We can keep talking about the things we disagree on, but most importantly, putting our energies into what we agree on will be best for the children in our church, is what this work has always been about for me, and it's what it needs to be about for everybody in this country. We've got to stop fixing blame. And I believe that the people living in school buildings need a voice. I don't believe we've ever had true education reform because the people doing the work have been the object of the reform, not the architects. And getting the voice of the people who look those children in the eye every day in how we're going to do this work, to me, is the goal.